Welcome to Channel AMEC, your insight to the Australian visa system. Good day everyone, my name is Carl Young, your online YouTube visa consultant. Are you interested about migrating to Australia? Why don't you consider to subscribe to my channel and turn a little bell on the side, so once we have all the updates and news, you'll be the first one of getting all the insight. Alright, this video we would like to take a review as I have been receiving a lot of inquiries and comments in regards to some review and how I see the new policy for 1AA visa. So if you're not familiar with 1AA visa, it's a visa for business innovation generally in a general term, rather than going through innovation and things. It's for investment purpose. So if you are an investor, or have you been dealing with business that you wanted to establish a business in Australia, or perhaps invest into fund in Australia, there is an incentive of getting visa this way. So this type of 1AA visa, subclass 1AA visa, has been around for many years. Start from the immigration policy 20-30 years ago. Obviously it has evolved and had recently, in this year July, had taken major changes. If you're not familiar with those changes, today we'll take a discussion on this one and how I review it after about 3 months of the new policy and how this visa is actually going. Okay, let's jump in there and have a look. Now 1AA visa, as you can see here, the general one are the business innovation stream and the investor stream and the significant investor stream. So they are the general three one, and the other one is entrepreneur, which I will not be discussing that in this video. I would like to take a look at these three first because they are the most commonly applied category that we can see. I'm not too sure why the investor one does have a very handsome gentleman on the top of me, but all the other ones like A and C, no picture. Anyway, maybe they're boring. Anyhow, that's just a little of a common what I being observed with. Now the business innovation stream had only a little bit of change. As you can see, the eligibility that they have raised up for the business ownership from $500,000 Australian dollar 2 years to 750,000 within the past 2 years, and also your assets and things require bump it up from 800,000 to 1.25 million. So it's only a little bit changed over the past, I would say, probably 10 years. So I don't think there's much changes here, and it's still very friendly. The only thing for the business innovation here is that the risk of establishing business in a post-pandemic era, it is obviously, if we take out the elements of visa, establishing new business in a post-pandemic era obviously is a very risky actions. So again, you need to really assess very carefully. Otherwise, if you do not gain a successful business adventure after you have 1AA visa, then obviously you're not able to get the permanent residency afterwards. So that's one thing here, and that's how I view it at this point of time. We are on the late October 2021, about 3 months plus after the new policy has been announced. Obviously, we are at the turning point of human history due to this pandemic hit in 2020. We don't know where we're heading towards, but I will share a little bit of how I view it at the end of this video, so make sure you watch till the end. Now, the other category pathway stream should be investor stream. So investor stream basically meant you may be a business owner, or you may be a very experienced investor overall. You've been investing to real estate, you've been investing to stock exchange, you've been investing into funds, bullion or whatnot. By the way, cryptocurrency is not counted still. However, I think it will ultimately be there, but they are still not taking cryptocurrency as one of the elements as the what they call a qualified investment thing. So if you have a lot of bitcoins, it will still not be counted. Now, what happened here is that they have bumped it up from, you need to show profit from investments or business of 1.5 million before July this year, and now you need to show profit of 2.5. That's 1 mil extra from all your investment. It cannot be inherited. It cannot be your salary unless the salary is generated from your business. If it's not your business, you're only, for example, you're only a lawyer, accountant working in a large firm, you're getting paid handsomely, great, but your salary will not count as the profit that we are talking about here for this, included in this 1.5 or this 2.5. So 1 million jump is actually quite high, especially it has to be profited from your past invested items. For example, you invest 1 million back in 2000, and in 2015 you sold it for 3 million. Then you make 2 million profit, okay? And that 2 million can then be used on the investor stream. Now, if you're so that's still not meeting the requirement. You're still $500,000 short, okay? And that's the hard part. Now, I believe that this will actually come easier 2 or 3 years later, because at this point of time, if you wanted to get the applicant to demonstrate that they have profited 2.5 in the past years, it's actually not that easy, especially even if you have, and you know we're going through a pandemic era. A lot of these experienced investors will hold their assets until clear future has arrived. Otherwise, I don't think it would be very unlikely. I haven't really seen anyone since July requesting for this visa at this point in time. Generally, I get inquiry every month, but since the change, I think they had a lot of people are still thinking and taking a look around the investment environment. Now, the next visa is the subclass 1AA significant investor stream. They got an acronym called SIV. So SI and stream not here. V is for a visa holder, so SIV. Now this one didn't have much of changes. It's continue to stay as 5 million investment requirement. There's only a little bit of a twist in the section of items required to be invested within the fund, but I don't see there is much of changes there. Now let's come in and have a look of the general visa processing time for these three commonly used investment visas. So the business innovation stream, it takes around 30 to 33 months. Now, wow, if you have a business proposal and you want to establish a business in Australia, can you wait for 30 or 33 months? Question mark. And that's probably why it has stopped a lot of people doing it. So, okay. And second one is the investor stream. Again, 33 to 34 months. I'm not too sure why this is taking much longer. This one doesn't even need a business proposal. If you have 2.5 profit from your past investment portfolios, all you need to do is put it into the fund, and that's it. And why would it take 33 to 34 months? And last but not least, the SIV will take less, but still about a year, 11 to 14 months. And I think that's another key that stopped a lot of investors going into seeking a potential visa here. Now, there is a background that we need to discuss as we are in a pandemic era, and we are hopefully we are at the end and we moving into a post-pandemic, but there are a lot of problem coming in after this virus, especially if you see, I think a lot of people have already been following. If you see what's happening with the high inflation, this is a news article from USA. I just got it today, and I searched on the Australian, New Zealand as well, so you can see Australian, New Zealand dollar hold below high as Aussie inflation eye. So there's a lot of things coming up, and there's also what's been happening in China is obviously you know about the power outage and the inflation on every single commodity in China. So this is gonna hit the entire world. So what will happen is, I think the most investors, they still hold the money, they can do so, but I think most of the investors are currently standing by, watching what will happen. I think they will. The big shakeup is coming, especially with the housing bubble happening in China, and also inflation adding on the top of a housing bubble. Imagine that, because last time that the bubble burst in Japan and in United States, it hit. The wave hit globally, not just nationally, not just domestically. It's gonna go globally. So this wave is coming. It's coming. So I that's probably why the number of interest of lodging 1AA visa is low at this point in time, because if you have the money, you might as well use it wisely rather than throw into something that's gonna get you waiting for 30 something month. That's not just gonna worth it. Okay, and also the investor stream. Look, if they had let's jump in there. If they had been showing investor stream for that 2.5 mil, can be used from the inherited or salary earned, I think that's more fair. Okay, but if you require to show that 2.5 mil may profited from your past investment portfolio, that's gonna be hard. That's gonna be really hard, unless we have been hit from the inflation for another 1 or 2 years, so everything inflated up. I mean, this will be more realistic in 2023 or 25 for that 2.5 mil profited from past investments. But for 2021, I don't think anyone will actually be interested. Even if they have the money, I don't think they're likely to do so. I'm not saying there's going to be zero, but there's going to be very, very limited people to do so. Now, coming into the last bit is the going into the first 188 business innovation stream. A lot of people will be qualified on this, but again, because we are heading into a post-pandemic era, obviously establishing business nowadays is going to be very, very risky, especially that we've seen a big shift from a physical store into a digital world. Think about this. Even the Facebook is shifting its thingo into another different dimensions, and see how Amazon had made billions and billions over these 2 years, because everybody is due to virus, it actually catapulted the digital world. So if you're looking at to the business proposal that the business innovation stream requires, generally they want people to go into the brick and mortar business, so a shop, a retail business, whatever it is, warehousing, things like this. But we are moving into a digital world. Those business proposals, even if they enter into it, it's going to be very, very risky. Look into all this retail business these 2 years. How many of them have closed down? How many of them have vanished? So again, this is going to be a major change. I think the new visa category for 1AA visas were actually prepared and planned it before pandemic. Okay, and that's the shifting point. I do believe there's going to be more changes will be made on one-way visa. Otherwise, it's going to be waiting and waiting, and less and less applicants gonna be there. Although they have moved up the quota, but they also moved up the criteria as well. And also, the business environment is not as friendly as before. Watch out for the inflation, and watch out for the housing bubble from China. How would businessmen think and direct themselves into a business adventure with a potential visa, by the side? So I think this is the whole effect. I'm here to just provide an overview of how I think. And this is what's happening. There is very limited people inquire about one-way visa after the change, obviously due to pandemic, and there's also a big shift from Canada. Canada closed down their business investment visa category for federal, and also United States had not even opened up for the EB5. The same thing in the business visa. They're looking towards opening up in December. Whether or not it's going to be smooth or not, we don't know. So all of this is affecting the whole visa system. Anyhow, should you have more question or query, more than welcome to leave a comment right down below, and I see you next video. Goodbye.